If you didn't know, chat, Mordred is my favorite Saber. Like, I like Mordred as a character more than I do Artoria. And it's just because, like, it's more the acceptance that she reaches at the end of Apocrypha. And that, like, it just hits harder, especially when I, like, realize how young Mordred actually is supposed to be. Like, she's supposed to be, like, under 10 years old as a homunculus. Like, yes, she did heinous shit. Like, heinous stuff while she was alive. But at the same time, he was raised by Morgan Le Fay, who, like, probably did something. Like, probably gave her a chemical imbalance or something. Like, who knows with Maidcraft like that? Like, there's ways to explain, like, why she did the shit she did. She could have been brainwashed too. But even, like, no matter what, she accepts what she did. She accepts that she made a mistake and she takes action for it. Her wish isn't to, at the end of Apocrypha, her wish isn't to regain her honor or, like, erase what she did. She wants to still be by her father's side. And by that, she got her wish in FGO. Just not the way she wanted. Maybe. I don't know. She gets to see, like, 7 different versions of her father. So she either, like, is mad she doesn't see the version of her father all the time, or she's happy that she has so many dads. Anyway, enough about the lore stuff. Mordred, my favorite Saber, and she got buffed, and boy is it good. Boy, like, this is literally what she needed. And look at this, she's finally ahead of Salter. It's crazy what having 2 buffs that multiply to each other will do for your damage. Because I remember she was closer to here, or like maybe 28, 27. I think it was 27. And now she's like just under her father. And then she also has a power mod to go even higher. So that's part of the reason I like Mordred so much, is that her kit is good. She has stuff Artoria does not have. She has high potential. It's just like when she actually gets to use that potential is far and few between. Base attack higher than the middle by a good 200. HP also tanky as well. Both her and her father are like tanky Sabers. Like, you would think their base attack would be lower than it is, but it's not. Like, they actually have good base stats. Makes sense. Star weight, star gen, or Saber numbers. Don't expect to make stars from her quick card. You will make more stars from her extra attack than you will probably her quick card, unless you're in a mighty chain and you put the quick card at the very, very end. Double buster, double arts, 0.56 MP gain with 3 hits on the arts. It's better gains if you're critting. If you crit, it's better gains than I think on 2-hit arts. She's not like blowing Artoria's refund out of the water, but it's not. They're comparable, right? Yeah, no, they're comparable. They are comparable for gains, but you need to get crits on both of them. Naturally, I think Mordred would have higher gains in general, just because it's 3 hits, not 2. But they're both, if you multiply them together, they both add up like equal, about the same amount of refund. So yes, she is a later year 1 servant, almost at the end of year 1. Or no, actually it was somewhat early. All the year 1 stuff confuses me because I wasn't even playing during that time. But her deck doesn't look that bad. Her hits are better than Artoria's, but not by that much. She looks slightly more modern, but again, that's not saying a whole lot, especially when her comparison is Jack, came out at the same time, and Jack is still regarded as like one of the best upstairs servants there is. Like her upstairs kit makes so much sense. So first skill is the one that got buffed. It was her mana burst. Mana burst is known to be like pretty bad, especially because of the sports you run. Why do you care about a 50% mana burst that cannot be double stacked when you have 3 supports that you would use her with in farming that all give the same exact value of her mana burst? She wasn't getting a new buff type. That was always the problem with Mordred. She only had the Buster buff. Her numbers were solely off of Buster buff. She could not even stack. Her number, like this damage is pathetic. You look at our father on the same super scope shit, and she literally is doing almost 3 times the damage. And they're both, and this one also got to use Arctic instead of this one could use any Mysticode. And Mordred was stuck with super scope on Atlas. Oh shit, who else is doing this? Oh shit, Jordan's holy shit, is Jordan actually doing these numbers right now? No shot. No shot. I'm making sure I have the list. Checking it twice. But yeah. So Buster crit performance 3 times 3 turns. Fucking thank you. You are now able to double stack Mordred's Buster buff. That's number 1. The big thing though is you can do this on turn, like you can do this turn 1 and turn 2. Your damage for those turns does not have to be bad. Unlike Artoria. Like if you look at Artoria, you are not popping her Buster buff on turn 1. You cannot do that. Well, you can, but why would you? Like turn 1 usually doesn't have super high health enemies unless you're doing a 90++. That I did. I see what's on JP right now. First, like the fact that she could double stack this now, already good. That's not it though. They went further beyond. Up the Buster crit damage of all her Buster cards by 30% for 3 turns. Awesome. She already has a Buster star weight skill. This is a buff that makes so much sense. Both of these working together. Mordred is all about the Buster crits. And it really sucks she doesn't have a triple Buster deck. If she had a triple Buster deck, oh my god. She would be going sicko mode. And then the nutty part that actually like lets her damage be consistent and good, she gets a 20% attack buff for 3 turns, which can also be double stacked. So not only did she get in her formula, did she get another 50% Buster, she also got another 40% attack for her 3 turn damage. Keep that in mind. This skill has been buffed for a while. You get star weight on Buster cards. Not only that, you also get even more crit damage. You get 50% general card damage, but the star weight is for your Buster cards. So you are the N15 stars. The game is literally telling you you can crit as hard as you want, but red till it's dead. Just red till it's dead, forehead. Like, her kid looks so much better now. I feel so happy. I feel so happy that like they're actually buffing the units that need the buffs. Like Mordred has needed this buff for so long. We will go back to her damage chart, but she was falling behind so piss poor that I think Suminai was in direct competition with her. A 4-star MP1 was in direct competition with her. Third skill, debuff cleanse, 50% defense, 30% battery. As a survivability skill, this is great. Like debuff cleanse on a skill, cool. Make sure the MP is going to hit as hard as possible. Defense, so if you need to face tank an MP, you can. Most of the time, like, you're honestly doing this for the battery, but these are all like 3 good skills and skills that can work together fairly often. Like, is there going to be a lot of times where you just want the battery? Absolutely. Buster farming, you don't care about any of this other stuff. Defense, though, 50% defense, that's not nothing. I wouldn't use this to face tank an MP, but like for face guard, like just for general like face guard damage, like you probably won't take much. And then a debuff cleanse is always good. You just make sure you're clean, or you gotta make sure she's clean, or they are clean. I don't want a sword making a new hole in my throat. Magic this B, 17.5%. Riding B really sucks that her quick part sucks, but at least it would do a slightly better. If you want to do Buster farming with Mordred, you need this skill, otherwise you're stuck to super scope damage. And trust me, you do not want to be stuck to super scope damage. Like, I put this in the community post, but you're gonna want as much charge as possible. In a very similar situation to another unit that came out recently. Get the mana loading. Everything else comes secondary. Although, Mordred does have reason to have anti-saber. And we'll get to that in the MP. But basically, she will be able to use her niche much more effectively if you have this unlocked. It will make it so her highs and her averages are a lot closer together than than how they were before. Her mod just would make more sense. But again, it's a third append. I wouldn't focus on this first. I kind of would say get this over this. It's very rare, but Mordred extra attack isn't going to do that much. It will be better by getting upgraded, but 30% more damage against Sabers. When you read her overcharge, or if you know Mordred, you know, like, this is not a non-use case. So this got buffed a long time ago, and thank God the battery was what they buffed. It's damage to all enemies, no normal effect, but to OCs. Power mod against Arthur enemies. All of these servants. So full advantage against Echon. Absolute full advantage against Lartoria. It's like you bring Mordred to fight Lartoria, they are dead. They are dead. They are not going to survive. They get super effective, and then if you notice here, her power mod or the super effective, I think this is super effective. Yes. Yeah, this is super effective. Yeah. So this is super effective damage. This is higher than the normal chance. At overcharge 3, you are at the normal level of overcharge 5. Like, that is the super effective of overcharge 5 for like other super effective damage that scales. Not only that, she gets a 20% battery, so she can do the same exact shit as her father. The only issue is that this is on a 6 turn, not a 5 turn. That 1 turn of cooldown literally makes the difference and stops her from being as versatile as Artoria. Do I think they are ever gonna make this a 5 turn? No. I don't believe they'll ever make this a 5 turn. Because then it's going to get to the point of why, like, Mordred has a little more options. Technically has a slightly better kit right now. Right now, it's slightly better. Just because Artoria's charisma is not buffed. Like, Artoria is 100% more versatile, but you would bring Mordred to harder fights than Artoria. 100%. Artoria has nothing for crit damage. and Mordred has 2 different skills for crit damage, and another and that one skill is now a damage steroid monster for if you're just doing face guard. If you're not worried about MP, holy fucking shit, like the damage you could put out on this. And if you are doing a Buster Brave chain this turn, you're not. This 30% crit damage is not hit based. This is, you get 80% Buster crit damage while you have an attack buff and 50% Buster. Bond CE MP damage up 20% while she's on the field. I don't think she is ever going to. I don't think she's ever going to get MP damage in her kit, like up here. I don't think it's gonna happen, because then she actually will overtake Artoria, and they're never gonna do that. So let's look at the damage charts now. Hopefully Jord didn't change this, and all this will be reflected. Post buff, pre buff, up 50% damage, right? 50% of 50,000. Or yeah, 50,000. 50% of that is 75,000. Well above that. That is 70% extra damage for Super Scope. Super Scope damage went up 70%. Why is this gap so big? It's because Artoria is using Arctic, which is an attack and MP damage buff, which just gasses up damage a lot more. So if Mordred has to use Atlas, she's not beating Artoria's Super Scope. Artoria will probably always have that advantage over every other servant of having one of the best Super Scope damages in the game. Gray is the exception. Her Super Scope damage is actually fucking stupid. But when we come down to these other things, these other craft essences you use for Buster farming, Mordred jumped from 172,000 on Buster 50% CEs to 267,000. Let's paint a picture. This is the same. This is more than the jumps that Gilgamesh was doing when he got his buff. Gilgamesh was at 24,000 and jumped up to 300. Mordred's jumping damage is almost doubling. And in this case here with the new black rail, it actually did double. Her Buster buff, her damage actually did double from what it was before. Not only that, she now out damages Artoria in Buster farming. Yes, she finally surpasses her father, and then she still has another niche to go on. If you bring her to fight Lancers, you might fight Lartoria or Lalter. So this damage goes up even fucking higher. Mordred is now finally standing on their own. This is the buff she has needed for a long time. Good that she got Cigarette Lion, but this is what she's needed to be relevant in farming. Could you summon for Mordred? No. Are you going to be very happy if you get Spookfire? Absolutely. NA, should you pull her off the ticket? Artoria is still going to be more versatile, and that's... You gotta wait 2 years for Mordred to get this buff. I wouldn't be surprised if JP gets another ticket anytime soon. So get spooked. If you get spooked by Mordred, it is no longer just shitty Artoria in terms of damage. Also, going back to this, yeah, she got out damaged by Sumanai, and as a 4-star, you probably would have had more copies of him. Damn. That's a feels bad moment. At least his stuff was niche, where you weren't going to see his damage pop off often. you're more likely to see Mordreds. You're getting beaten by a Ford. Oh, wait, no. Culture can do super scope? No, she couldn't. Huh. Oh, wow. Yeah, her super scope damage is actually pretty good. Oh, no, because she's using Oberon. That's why. Got it. All right. Yeah. That's it for me. Mordred, awesome. Next, Nero and Lelter are both getting videos tomorrow. I want to get them out of the way so I can cover other servants. It's not because their buffs are bad. It's just I literally just talked about them like less than a month ago. I'm not giving them a full day and like fall behind even more. All right. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm putting this at the end of the video because I'm really bad about selling out mid-video. So, thank you for watching.